Hey, eyes up here. Listen, I know what you guys are thinking. The fuck's wrong with this guy's hair? But also, how are you drawing your face like that? This guy's like an Asian John Madden. It turns out there's a bunch of new features that you can straight up just add to OBS just by installing a few simple plugins. We've covered a bunch of them before, however, there is another way that you can get more out of OBS, and that is by installing scripts. The OBS forums have a bunch of scripts for doing all sorts of things. There's one that gives you a notification alert every time you start recording, so that way you don't accidentally start a recording without you realizing. And then there's another one that gives you a sound alert every time you drop frames, so that way you know when your stream is stuttering for your viewers. And the great thing is scripts are way easier to install than plugins, and you're gonna see that in a second. So I've compiled a list of 5 of my favorite scripts, not including the ones that I just showed you, because those are freebies, so you're welcome. Before we get started, I just bought this fancy chair like a couple weeks ago, so I need to pay off my credit card bill. So let's do a shout out to the sponsor of this video, Nutty. If you've been looking to upgrade your stream with panels, transitions, overlays, Nutty is a great resource for high quality stream designs that are all really easy to install. But even if you're not looking for full-blown stream designs, they have a lot of widgets and tools that might be useful for you, and a lot of them are free. For example, they have a media looper that can loop through a bunch of video files and image files, which would be really useful for, say, a social media pop-up every 30 seconds on your stream. So if any of that sounds interesting to you, check out Nutty, links down below, and make sure to use the code NUTTY. Is it NUTTY? Or is it NUTTY? I think it's just NUTTY. It will be on the screen, whatever. Use that code and then you'll get 15% off. Let me ask you guys a question. How many programs do you use every time you stream? Because it's not just OBS. You have things like your chat window, your alerts, whatever you use for music. Maybe you use a companion app like StreamerBot. So wouldn't it be nice if every time you opened up OBS, all of those programs also opened at the same time? That's exactly what OBS Autostarter does. You select a program and you just launch OBS, and that program will launch at the same time. Spotify, Discord, Steam, any program you want. You can even open up files like Word documents or PowerPoint presentations on like smooth peanut butter versus crunchy peanut butter. Crunchy, by the way, it's always crunchy. I love this one because there are certain programs like StreamerBot that I literally never run OBS without, because I use StreamerBot for things like voice controls, effects, and this Pokemon Stadium counting game that I program. So if you want this script, head on over to the link down below and click the download button. Then in OBS, click on Tools and go into Scripts. Now you just click the plus button and add the script that you just downloaded, and you should see this window pop up. Over here is where you select the program that you want to open up with OBS, and if you check this checkbox, it will also automatically close that program every time you close down OBS, although generally I turn this one off. But that's really all you have to do. Now, one of the things I really wish this had was the ability to put in multiple different programs, but I guess if you're a smart person, you could easily just edit the script to add that functionality in. I just have no idea how to do that. Nonetheless, if you really do want to launch multiple programs, just duplicate the script and then re-add it with the plus button for every single program that you want to open. When I'm demoing something in OBS on my stream, there's always a moment when I want to point something out on my screen, and then I physically point to it using my finger like an idiot. Well, with Whiteboard Source, I can actually click and draw on my screen like they do on those sports shows where they analyze plays and stuff. I don't know how many of you guys watch sports. Probably not, because you're all gamers. But I can draw circles over things I want to highlight. I can scribble a diagram, or really just draw whatever I want. I've seen a few methods for doing a whiteboard style feature in OBS, but this is by far my favorite just because of how simple it is. All you do is you open up a preview window in OBS, and then you just click with your mouse to draw. If you want to get Whiteboard Source, you just go to the link down below, click on this button here, and download the 7-zip file, and then unzip this to wherever you want. You will need to have 7-zip installed, so I'm assuming you know how to do that. Then you just add the script into OBS just like the previous one, and you want to add in this file that's called whiteboard.lua. Over on the side, you'll see all the different settings that you can change. So you can change things like the color of your mouse cursor, or you can add multiple different pens and change like the line thicknesses and the colors of each pen. After that, you can close the scripts window, and then you have to add one more source. So if you right click and add, there'll be a new type of source called a whiteboard source. just add that, but make sure that it's on the very top of your scene collection so that your drawing is actually visible on top of all your different sources. Now you can right click and open up a projector preview, and if you hover over with your mouse, you'll see a red mouse cursor, and you can just start clicking to draw anything you want. Now you probably want a way to clear the whiteboard, so to do that you need to go into your OBS settings and go into hotkeys, and you'll see some extra hotkeys here for clearing your whiteboard, activating the eraser, or changing to different colored pens. At the very least, you should have a hotkey for clearing your whiteboard, but other than that, it just works. You just open up a projector and just draw anything you want. Now on my Twitch stream, I'm always showing off different tools, playing around with OBS, doing a little bit of programming, and everybody always asks me how I get OBS to zoom in on my mouse and follow my mouse cursor. In fact, I bet you just asked me that on Twitch, and then I link you to this video, and then now you're watching it. So yeah, you're welcome, Tobias from Twitch. This isn't done in post-editing. This is a script for OBS called Follow Zoom. If you do any sort of presentation or graphic design or anything to do with showing stuff on your desktop, this is an awesome script. I can't recommend this enough. The way it works is really simple. You just hit a hotkey on your keyboard, and then OBS will zoom into your mouse and then track your mouse wherever it moves on the screen. It's very fluid, low impact on your CPU, and just makes your stream a lot easier to read for your viewers. So if you want the script, click the link down below and then click on the download button, and you'll see a script here that's called zoom and follow mouse.py. Right click this and then save it to wherever you want. Then you just add the scripts to OBS using that scripts window, just like the other ones. However, when you add this one, it will say no properties available. And that's because this is a Python script, so we're going to have to install Python to get this to work. The download page has a set of instructions you can follow to install Python, but it's a little bit hard to follow, especially if you're not familiar with the command line. Fortunately, one of the people on the Discord server, Mushies, created a portable Python install that has everything pre-configured for you, so certainly made my life way easier. I left the link to the GitHub down below. You just go to that link, click on this file, it will download the installation files, and then you just unzip that somewhere. Then back in the scripts window in OBS, click in the tab that says Python settings, and then link to the folder that you just unzipped. And then back in the scripts tab, all the settings for that follow zoom script should automatically appear. You don't need to restart OBS or anything. Now you can just click in the drop-down box and select the source that you want to zoom into, and then you can play around with the other settings as well. There's the zoom window, which determines how far you want to zoom into your mouse, so a smaller resolution means it's more zoomed in. And then the rest of the settings just determine how fluid the mouse movement is around the screen, so if you want your mouse to be as smooth as mine, you can just copy these settings. All that's left to do now is to add a hotkey, so go into your OBS settings, go into hotkeys, and you'll see two new options there to turn on and turn off the zoom. But yeah, super handy script. I use it all the time on my Twitch streams, so if you want it, cool. If you don't like it, my bad. There's more coming up. Okay, here's one. I bet you'll like this one. How many of you guys have so many sources and so many scenes that you can't even find where your sources are anymore? Source Search Helper helps you find sources and figure out which scenes they belong to. So let's say you added a browser source to OBS, but you can't quite remember which scene you added it to. With Source Search Helper, you can just type in the name of that browser source, and it will tell you which scenes contain that browser source. Pretty sure that was really confusing because I said source like 8 times in that sentence, but you get what I mean. This is a feature I've always wanted to have built right into OBS, but I think this is the best solution that you'll find. If you want this script, just click the link down below, click on here where it says download, and then over here where it says raw, right click and then save that script somewhere on your computer. Then add the script to OBS just like all the other scripts, and you'll see all of these settings here. Over here, you can search through your list of all your different sources, or just type in the source that you want to find, click search, and then the box here will tell you which scenes contain that source. Now by default, this drop-down box lists every single source that you have in your scene collection, but if you want to narrow it down by type, like let's just say you only want to search through browser sources or only through media sources, you can filter through that as well. This has been super useful for me on a number of occasions, like when I'm trying to delete a browser source entirely from my scene collections and I can't quite find that last instance of the browser source. I just have to search for it and then I know exactly where to find it. It even gives you this checkbox that when you turn it on and search, it will automatically switch scenes to the first instance that it finds of the source that you're looking for, so that makes it even easier to find what you need. Coming down to the last script, let's finish off with an easy one. This one is called Media Hide. What this one does is it automatically hides any media source that you have in OBS once it's done playing. If you're like me, you've probably added tons of media files to your OBS scenes, like videos or audio files. In my case, I have these really complex channel point redemptions that use these gigantic macros inside of StreamerBot, and when I say gigantic, I mean gigantic. And normally my macros include playing a lot of video files. So normally I would have to turn on a media source to play it, add a delay, and then when it's done, I have to remember to turn it off. Media Hide gets rid of that extra step. So if I want to play a video in OBS, all I have to do is turn on that video source, and then when it's done playing, it will automatically turn itself off without me having to tell my macro to do that. I probably made it sound more complicated than it really is, because it's actually really simple, but it's one of those if you know kind of things. Once again, if you want the script, link down below. Right click here where it says raw, save it to wherever you want, then add the script to OBS as usual. And then now you just click this plus button and type in the name of all the media sources that you want to be affected by the media hide script. Alternatively, if you want the scripts to work with every single media source that you add to your scenes, you can flip this exclude checkbox on, and then this list will act as a whitelist and ignore everything that you add here. But yeah, just a really simple script. If I want to play a video inside OBS, just turn the source on and it will automatically play. Just make sure in the properties for the media source that you have this checkbox turned on. But yeah, that's all you have to do. Anyway, that's the list, guys. Let me know which of those scripts was your favorite, and if there's a script that I didn't cover, maybe you write that down below in the comments, and then I could take that and make a video and then farm viewers off your suggestion. Also, come follow me on Twitch. I stream 3 nights a week, and I'm currently in the process of designing some really sleek stream widgets. So if you ever want to see the process of how a professional Twitch stream is made, maybe go follow someone else. It's not exactly professional, but maybe you'll learn something. Oh, and by the way, I just started a new YouTube channel called Nutty VODs. It's where I'll upload all of my past broadcasts from my Twitch streams. So if you ever miss a stream, you can catch it there. I'll leave a link down below for that. But anyway, I've wasted too much of your time. Enjoy the new scripts to play with, and I'll talk to you guys next week.